So Davey's not massively well up on tech and stuff as well, you see.
No, I see. If I can't do it first couple of clicks, I just get annoyed. I'm very laid back, but if I can't do something straight away, I just I give up. Like as I say, she's at work with the wife. She normally gets. I'll just be stomping about, and she gets left to sort it all out. But she did this before she went. But then I realised, shit, I ain't got the link for Twitter, so that's why I had to get you to send it. Luckily, she set up my WhatsApp just before she left
Aha,
on the
aha.
computer, so aye, more or less foolproof. But
Oh, we've got you loud and clear now. Anyway, Martin, we can hear you now. We're live anyway. We're just waiting for Davey to come on board. I'm hoping Davey will come soon. Um, so Martin Smith, mate, it's a pleasure to have you on the Mackem Cabbie and Davey show. Mine is Davey at the minute. So how you been doing?
yeah, I'm good, mate. Yeah, all good. Uh, yeah, very obviously pleased with the way Sunderland started the season. So yeah, all good, all good. Can't complain.
Do you think Sunderland so far are punching above the weight then, or do you think it is the league table suggests that's where they should be with the squad we've got?
Um, I think, I mean, I think obviously the injuries and the suspensions at the minute are hurting the situation, but I think our best 11, 12, 13, 14 players are more than capable of doing what they're doing. I wasn't so down on how we would do this season like a lot of people were. I was really optimistic. I mean, I'd be lying if I said I thought we'd be top second at the minute, but I didn't see any reason why we couldn't get in the playoffs. I think last year we all said all we needed really was a centre forward, centre half, bit of experience in midfield, and we got it. So I was very happy. But yeah, then just the way they started didn't massively surprise us. I've said I think it's with this league, it's the squad, not just the 11 or 12 that gets you out of it. So it's being tested now. But no, I think they're I think they're more than merit where they've been. I don't think anybody is outplayed us apart from maybe Leeds in a spell. They look decent, but apart from that, I
Yeah,
think we're more than competitive with everybody in the league.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. Aye, it's a queer one, and I just hope the fact like it doesn't come to bite us in the backside. The fact like our lack of squad, in depth,
Yeah,
because it just seems to hinder our season constantly.
it does. I mean, I think a lot of clubs, especially these days, I think a lot of clubs would get a lot of injuries and yellow cards rack up a lot easier than they used to. People get booked for next to nothing these days, so suspensions are going to affect everybody at the minute. It seems like it's our little spell to have them injuries in the suspensions. Obviously Saturday, if you could have held on for the 3 points, that would have been massive. But yeah, you just look on to January, even though we're doing well, you still would like to see a bit more action in the transfer market just to bring a few people in, just to freshen it up, just to give it that depth. Because as I said, I don't think there's anybody there that's massively to be scared of. I think obviously you look at Leeds squad, that probably will be the squad that gets out with this league just because if you say they're just the depth and it might come back to bite us. But yeah, it just depends how heavy they want to go into the transfer market, I suppose, in January.
I know. I think what's getting on the what's concerning the fans is this like sitting back after they've sort of taken a lead these last few games, and it's really really frustrating, especially um, we've started off absolutely amazingly well. It's really really great performances in the first half, and then like when the second half comes, it's like we've gone to the old Sunderland of the Parkinson and the Jack Ross days and the Simon Graysons. It's like what is I'd love to know what's been said at half time for them to come out. I mean, obviously you've been there yourself. I mean, does it happen? I mean, you 1-0 up, and do you get told
Yeah,
sometimes?
honest, I can't really remember being in a dressing room where
Hmm.
you say, right, we're going to sit back. If for whatever reason, it can happen. Whether I mean Saturday, when you look at the personnel that was on the pitch, I'd put Saturdays in a bit of isolation because the conditions, I think, second half, especially suit Millwall, become rain and windy. They just want to launch it, fight for second balls. We've got
Yeah.
some younger lads in there. Um, yeah, and just getting control of a game like that isn't easy.
Aye.
So I think Saturday might have been a bit different. I've been in games where, as I say, you start to drop off and that you become stretched. The ball's gone to the front man, even if he gets all of it, people can't get up to support him quick enough, and it's just that constant cycle of it keeps coming back. I mean, saying that, we still could have went 2-0 up, and we could have been talking about a perfect away performance again. It's yeah. I mean, I don't think it's something necessarily does. I think to say just sometimes it can happen in games, and sometimes you give the opposition credit for pushing on a bit more, especially at the stadium like Coventry. I think maybe have they come to just to sit in and see what happens, and then we get ahead, and suddenly they have to change their game plan. Second half, they come out and push on a bit more. But again, if you're going to get out of this league, you should be seeing games like that out at home when you go 2-0 up. But yeah, I've heard people say about it, and I don't know. As I say, sometimes it just happens in games, and you can't get out of it. So it'll be interesting. I don't think it'll be a massive thing where he's gone in and said, right, we just sit off now. But yeah, it has become a bit of a pattern. So you do start to think, is that something the manager's saying? But as I said, I don't think it will be an actual tactic as such.
It's like I said, there's a hell of a long way to go, like Martin, isn't there? I mean,
Yeah.
access to Benno just before when we found out that Bellingham had going to start his suspension with all these yellow cards, and I says to Benno, I says, "Do you think I think we're going to miss Bellingham then?" And he reckons, and Benno went, "No, I think we've got more than enough to cover that." And it now looks to seem to be the case that we really do have missed Bellingham. Like, I mean, I don't know if you've noticed, but when it shows like the highlights and that Bellingham, he's everywhere. He's covering every blade of grass on that pitch, and it's mad, isn't it, how one player can make such a difference. With him being absent, really, really have missed Joe Bellingham. Like,
Yeah, he started the season ever so well. I mean, I thought he did last year. Maybe he's not to the extent he has this year. And then I think he tailed off massively, which a young lad, and he's sort of playing the amount of games he had. It was quite understandable. But he's come back this year, looks fresh, looks sharp, and as you said, he's played a massive part in what's been a great start of the season. And he's got a bit more physicality about him than maybe others in there. His defensive side and his attack and returns have been great. So no, it has, but that's when you're not going to go through the season and have probably the same personnel all the time. So it's when other lads come in, they've got to take a chance and try and prove. I'm not saying they're a one-man team, but he's not going to be missed. But hopefully, the could come back and he's on 4 yellow cards straight away. So that's a bit of a worry. But no, he has. He's done ever so well. But I think that the majority, the team start well. I think last year we looked like a team that was ready for the end of the season. Whether it was because of management situations or just the young lads, everything catching up with them as the season's gone on. This year they've come back and they're looking fresh, hungry bunch, and whether it's the new ideas from the manager, a new voice, it's been great. But I think we've all said that like the bigger tests will come once we get into this period. Your Decembers and Januaries where there's a lot of games. That's probably where you get tested even more.
Absolutely. I mean, it's such a really difficult division, isn't it? I mean, the Championship, it's getting harder and harder. The gap seems to be grown, especially the Championship and the Premier League, and the teams. We've got this yo-yo effect, haven't we? With the teams are far too good for the Championship, not good enough for the Premier League. We're seeing it in Southampton again. Ipswich, they're still hovering in the bottom bit. I mean, Sheffield United getting pummeled by the Mags at home. Was it 9-0 that
Yeah,
time?
yeah, something like that.
And Burnley as well really struggled, and
Yeah,
they had such an amazing season in the Championship. And of course, when they come back down, they've got the parachute payments, and they've still got that strength and depth. So if Sunderland's wanting to get out this division and into the Prem, they've always got that battle of them three coming down, which they're
yeah.
already miles ahead of of most of the teams in the Championship, and it's so difficult, isn't it?
It is, no, as you said, the gap now, you see it. I think when we played the Mags last year in the FA Cup, no, but they come and done a job on us comfortably in a lot of ways, and that's, I say, we thought we were going to have a chance going into that game, and it just showed like the gulf when you see these teams in the Premier League now, and as you point out, the teams coming out of the Championship up. It's a struggle for them. And you look at Ipswich, but even Ipswich has spent a lot of money, like good amount of money for a team like Ipswich. No disrespect, they spent good money, and that's probably just to try and get them to finish fourth bottom. It's, as I said, it's such a tough ask. I mean, I thought the teams, said when I said earlier, I thought we do all right this year simply because I thought Sheffield United will come down. I think there was a bit of so people weren't sure if they were going to keep all the squad together. There was rumblings of the club not being in a great position off the field. Burnley lost Vincent
Mm-hmm.
Company, so I'm thinking, well, that might be them. They might have a little fall off. Leagues can be a bit of a basket case at the best of times, but they did keep. They lost players, but you still look at that team and squad and think that's a team that potentially could go in the Premier League and be competitive towards the bottom end. So even the teams that have come down that I thought might struggle a bit, they're still bang there.
I
So it
know.
does. It just shows, even with that little bit of turmoil, maybe it's at the three clubs that have come down, changing managers, stuff off the pitch, they're still competitive. So it does. It just shows what you've got to deal with. And that's why I think the sooner you can get up there, get in there, even if you know you're coming back down, it just gives you the chance to build. I know people sometimes say, "Oh, it might be a year too soon." For me, I just think you get up there, take the money. If you're going to come back down, fair enough. Just don't over exceed. If you do come down, you're putting the club in danger. But get up there, get them parachute payments, and give it a go. As you say, that because the teams that keep going up, they do tend to just build if they do it right anyway.
If they do it right. I mean, it's when Sunderland had that obviously the Sun Until I Die season, and it's like if the parachute payments are a good advantage, then it certainly wasn't to Sunderland that season when they got relegated and then they got relegated again. But it's not just so much about the parachute payments. Of course, it's all depends how your clubs managed from the top, and we were a bit of a shambles, weren't we? When we went, we just had no direction. The players didn't seem to know which direction they were going because they were up in arms, which is the club going for sale and that, and it was just a
Yeah.
mess all around, wasn't it? To be
It
honest
was.
with you.
It was a bad time because I think if you're off new stuff of what was going off the field, you could sense something was coming. I mean, saying that we went down, but if we'd had a half decent goalkeeper all season, we would have stayed up. So you know what I mean. But off the field things were, yeah, they were bad, and it took us a while to turn it all around, didn't it? So yeah, it's still got to be done right. But yeah, I mean, I know Louis Dreyfus, he's not spending masses of money, but things seem to be on an even keel.
Aye.
So you think if we did go up, we wouldn't get ourselves into any sort of bother off the pitch. So I think we all want to see money get spent, don't we? All want to be linked with top players, but I think the main thing is we can see, at least it seems like there's a plan now. I think people were a bit sort of critical at times of the recruitment, but it does seem to be bearing fruit. And then at least this summer, we did seem to go for a bit more experience. So maybe lessons have been learned there. So yeah, off the pitch, things seem to be going all right. And yeah, it looks like it's in safe hands. Whether you say there's going to be masses of money there at any point to
Yeah.
spend, who knows? But as you say, let's get up there and deal with that as and when.
I was just turning my heater down there. It's absolutely red hot in this conservatory. But yeah, I mean, look, I think, I think like to Speakman and KLD, they've got to be given, credit, haven't they? The way they've, I mean, nobody was expecting Sunderland to start the season the way they have this season, and the signings that they've brought in, there've been some little gems, hasn't there? The likes of Isidore and Mundell and stuff, and obviously we've got the loan player. We've got Meffin, who seems to be the fans' favourite. Meffin, I mean, you can tell he's Premier League quality, can't you? The way he's just controlling the defence on some days.
Yeah, no, he's been really impressive. But yeah, that's what I mean. As I say, I think there was a criticism because we could all see what we needed: a bit of experience, centre forward, maybe another centre half. So I think that was the criticism, that we could see it. But as I say, it looks like maybe lessons have been learned, and let's say you've got to give them credit for going out and doing that business in the summer. I still think personally we could still do with a bit more experience. I don't think you can ever have enough. And it's great to see the young lads come through. Don't get me wrong, and there's some real talent there. But I still think you need that right experience. And I could still think maybe another 2 or 3 in there would still make a huge difference to the team now, and to the development of these young kids.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's frustrating as well. I mean, we've got these, like a Paveda. When you sign these new players and they seem to be like injured and not getting the game, and is it Samed, Abdul Samed? We've only got him on a season-long loan, and he's still injured, and a lot of fans are getting frustrated. The fact, why we're going for these players that are injured. I mean, we're knocking on the door of December. The season's going quick. He's not going to have long left of a season. And there's even rumours that he could be going back to the club who've got him on loan. So, I don't understand why we're signing players that are already injured, or unless something happened with Samed and he got injured coming off the plane or something. I don't know, but that's a bit weird, isn't it?
No, I mean, something you don't know if they thought it was just going to be a short term, or is this that lad that good that if he wasn't carrying an injury, we wouldn't get him. He'd be going somewhere else, so we take the chance on something like that. Think like it's said, if he was fully fit and flying, like would we get him? You don't know the whole dynamics behind why we might get somebody. So yeah, but it's frustrating, because this is the time now when you'd really like to see these lads come in and, as I say, just add to the squad and give us something different.
Absolutely. Got a question here from Andrew Moore in the chat. Hello, Andrew, mate. He says, Martin, do you think Jordan Henderson would be a good move to bring more experience?
Personally, I think it'd be an unbelievable move. But I'm surprised that people even question it. I don't know what you used to think, but I just think somebody with that experience, somebody who's got every little bit of ounce out of his career, it'll be unbelievable.
What a piss on this is.
Where you been?
Davey's,
you sacked.
I'm sacked. I've just sent the same link. Hey, we've got you. That's the main thing.
Aye. Yeah, stop at 10 o'clock now.
This is Dave. You know Davey Martin, didn't you, from BBC Newcastle?
I recognise that voice, of course.
Aye. Absolutely.
Martin, I'm the one who's seen it Wembley necking on.
You what, Davey?
Aye.
Say that again,
I'm
mate.
the one who's seen him at Wembley necking on with his lad.
I'm so pleased you said a lad. If you said a lass, I'd get in trouble off my missus. She was all right, he's necking on with lads. Especially if they're in red and white strips.
I was just asking Martin there, was somebody in the chat, Andrew Lewis said, do you think it would be good to get Henderson back into the squad for January? If there's any better chance to get him, it would be now, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Aye, but it all depends what the manager thinks. Like he seems like setting his ways. I don't know whether he would handle Henderson like. You don't know.
See, I've just said, David, just before, I think he'd be an unbelievable signing. I just think his experience, what he could pass on to them young lads, and you know he's not an idiot. He's coming to for the right reasons, I just think it will be an absolute no-brainer for me.
Yeah, he would give the young and such a lift, like, wouldn't it?
Oh, just like say, just doing what he's done in the game, just have him in the dressing room with them young players, and you know what I mean. I just think it will be absolutely superb. Like, and on the pitch, like going into the championship, I still think he'd be one of the top players. Like the difference in the levels from where I know he was at Ajax last year and he's been in the Middle East, but I still think it wouldn't take him long to get up to speed and be a huge asset.
I think he would get a buzz out of coming back and all, wouldn't he?
Yeah, definitely. No, exactly. So it'd be interesting because I'd say he did nothing's. It hasn't he hasn't come out and dismissed it, which always makes you think there might be a chance.
That's a good point you've said there, Davey. Is the fact like he's a Mackem through and through, Henderson as well, isn't it? So, you know, even all the times he's been with Liverpool and lifted Champions League trophies and stuff, he's often been spotted at Wembley and at the Stadium Light supporting Sunderland when it's needed. So same with Jordan Pickford as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Once you Mackem, how's a Mackem? Gary Hoyle says, hello Gary, he says, a young Martin Smith would have fitted in this team like a glove, he says. Where has the time gone? Would you like to fit into this squad, Martin? Do you think you're fitting all right?
I would do. I mean, I always thought the Tony Mowbray team, I just thought, that would have been an absolute joy to play in that.
Aye.
Yeah, the freedom that the front lads used to get, and as I say, no, definitely. I just think generally, as a forward player this day and age, you don't get booted as much. You don't get the stick that we used to get back in the day. So yeah, I'd say I'd love it.
Is there any match that stands out for you, Martin, that you played in and that you always look back on and thought, I remember that game?
I think the big one's always the Swindon one where we stayed up and I scored. We won 1-0. I think like Reedy's last 7 games.
Mm-hmm.
I think even Reedy mentions it. Like that was a massive turning point in keeping us up, and then from there on, him staying and the club kicking on. But yeah, no, there's loads of loads of just daft little reasons, like good games you played in, and yeah, there was a game at Bradford on a Friday night when we won 4-0. I played up front with Kev, and it was one of them games where, as a team, we were fantastic, and yeah, that one sticks in my mind. And the other one's actually when Nicky Summerby made his debut. He come on for me. I was having a really good game down at Portsmouth. Then I got a cut down my leg and needed stitches, so I come off. John O switched to the left, and Buzzer come on the right, and then the rest is history. So the lad who smashed me from Portsmouth, everybody's got a thank for finding that combination. But I mean that was great. After that, I didn't play masses of games, but you couldn't knock on the door and say, well, I should be playing it, because Buzzer and John were just class every week. You had obviously Kevin, Quinny up front. You kind of get rid of them. Like Bridgie was the same. Michael Bridges, where he sat there and you just like, who you going to knock on the door and tell the gaffer you should be replacing? You know what I mean? They were that good.
Gary Hoyle says, Dougie Stewart, hello Dougie, says, Martin, he says, who was the best manager you've played under at Sunderland?
There wasn't that many really, because Reedy was there that long.
He was, wasn't he?
Terry Butcher giving me my debut. I think he lasted out 7 or 8 games, and then it was Mick Buxton. Mick was actually sort of really good for me, but like Reedy, I think people think like me, Reedy didn't get on, but I have nothing but sort of great words to say about him. He sort of did, even though it didn't look it, he put me with a fitness coach, got me fitter, and he really changed the way I looked after myself off the pitch as well. So I had him to thank for that. And he was great. He probably wasn't the right manager for me. And I thought, as soon as I left, I knew I should have left earlier. As I said, I was needed the arm round the shoulder and a cuddle, and you never got that off Reedy. But no, Reedy was the best without a doubt. He was fantastic. They said what he'd done for the club, and where he moved us to was, let's say, as a Sunderland fan, it was. Well, I did. I spent most of my time watching them.
What was Barley like? I mean, I've been what some of the some of the podcasts and stuff, and I think Kevin Phillips was telling a tale about, like, even in training, Barley was there aiming to break your legs. He says even in training, when you're playing against him. What was he like as a captain behind the scenes and that? I mean.
No, he was. That's where he was. He trained the way he played, and yeah, why you didn't want to be on his team at five-a-side because he'd have a go at you, and then you didn't want to be against him because he'd just boot you. So it was no, but he was great, and everybody knows what he's like, and he did. He just demanded from you. He was probably one of the first to come in who was real professional as well off the pitch. Really looked after himself as time went on. As professionals, even like you saw the change, but Barley was one of the first who did everything right. Not that he was fantastic, but just, as I say, demanding. And if you wanted somebody behind you you didn't want him, you wanted him in front of you in a fight. He was the man. I think everybody said who's come up against him, he was tough. But I mean, it wasn't just when I first come in, like the practice games, I used to be up against Johnny Kerr. And Johnny Kerr was just, he just used to boot me all over.
Johnny, break your legs, Kerr.
He did. It was early on, I was like a young apprentice, and I megged him, and he just went, I'll give you that one, do it again, I'll break your legs. And like me, not thinking, I must have done it again in the practice game. And then next time I got just kneecaps. He said, I fucking told you. And that was it. So you sort of learn your lesson when and who not to sort of take the pee out of in training. But again, I mean, it's just talking about like that, even just nearly every fullback you played against in them days, it was hard. It was a different game. Yeah, you had to have your wits about you all the time.
It was the most fullback you feared when you were playing at your hump.
We played against one of the worst. You might never heard of him, but it was one of my early games. A weird lad called Tony Thomas at Tranmere. He always sticks in my mind, and he ended up going to Everton. They paid good money for him, but it was one of them, teeth in the back of me, teeth in my shoulder, punching his. Like all that stuff, all that went on. Like, yeah, and you're looking around thinking, what's going on here? Like, no cameras there, and you just start to take it. So,
I just say, Martin. So we've got 8 minutes left on the meeting. You can do another half hour if you want, or you can head off and do your own thing. It's up to yourself. Because if
you stay, it's up to you. If you're staying on,
you've just come on, man.
You've just come on.
What will happen until I splash the cash and I get the upgraded version of Zoom? It'll end in about 8 minutes. What I'll do is I'll just send you another link, and all you got to do is just click on that link. That's all you've got to do, David. Martin will keep you right, man. That's all you'll be doing. I'll just send another link, and we can crack on. And of course, if Martin doesn't mind, and if you've got other things to do, that's absolutely fine.
But Martin, I don't know what he's been talking about, obviously. But are you half glass full or half glass empty at the minute? Because I know what CABBIE is.
I'm all full. I was just saying,
exactly.
Before you come on, I wasn't down as everybody at the start of the season. I thought we'd do all right. Even like last year, we finished badly, but I never saw teams who I thought, wow, yous are unbelievable, we can't cope with yous. And I haven't seen it again this year. I think the league's so much of a muchness, it'll come down to like the squad, especially with us, how many people stay fit, suspensions. And I've said it's the squad that ends up getting you out of this league. It's not just the 11 or 12. You need a good, solid squad.
I mean, I think we have got the best 11 and 12 in the league easy, but it's the others I worry about.
Yeah.
The likes of, I mean, I've seen you play hundreds of times and that, but Mienda, when he played on the right the other day, great, great, and gets stuck in, he runs. But he hasn't got a football brain, has he? How do you get that? You know what I mean?
No,
I think you know what it is about Martin. He tries to run with the ball before he's got it under control. That annoys us.
Yeah, no, I think it comes a lot of it. If you stay in the game long enough, you do get better, or you should get better at the decision making and stuff. And I'd say he's got some assets, but as I say, sometimes he's trying to do stuff before he's got, as you say, under control and stuff like that. But no, I think he's done well enough this year, but I still think he's got to improve. He has got to improve. I think Isidore, especially up front, a massive improvement on Meander, even though Meander scored goals. I still thought his all-round play at the beginning of the season wasn't what you would want. But as I say, he's a young lad. Hopefully, he gets better. And I think that when you look at our squad, I think that's off what you've got to expect at times. Some of these lads are going to go through little bad spells and little trots. And again, when it comes round to the squad, when you can pull one or two out and change it, nobody notices. We're saying Bellingham's been a big miss, or he's somebody now. You're not going to pull him out the team. So
huge miss.
If you had somebody in who could go and do what he's done, then you can give him a little break every now and again.
That's it. That's the trouble, Martin. We haven't got nobody to replace Bellingham because he's our legs in the team, like.
Yeah, and
up and down the pitch. That was the trouble at Millwall. The reason we were camped in is because we didn't have anybody to run up with the ball.
No.
Tommy was knackered, Meander was knackered, and Dan Neil and Ricky cannot run with it.
No. I mean, that Saturday, it was one of them. I felt there was a goal coming towards the end. You just didn't know whether it was going to be us on the break or them. You know, you just get a feeling there's another goal in this. And it should have been us. We should have went up and scored. And then other end goal. I mean, so you're going from like nearly the perfect away performance. You've chucked another 2 points away. I
think if we had our full team on Saturday, we would have won 2 or 3-0 because they chucked like 4 centre forwards on in the end to get an equaliser. We would have hit them on the break. We're our main men, like.
No. Like, say first off, like even though we're not our strongest team, I still thought we were the better team. We looked the better team by far.
Because we had the ball in the bottom, but they made sure in the second half the ball was never on the floor, was it?
They had played to the strengths. I was just saying before it seemed like
the rain forwards on and just banged it in there.
Just stick it in there, get the second balls, and the conditions seemed to change. The wind, the rain, all that was just conducive to the way they played. But we still could have nicked it 2-0.
Considering Millwall with the informed team, I think they're coming on the back of 4 wins and 1 draw. I thought Sunderland really showed a really good account of themselves. I mean, like I said, especially the first half. And as Davey has said, if we'd had our full strength squad, I think, it could have been a comfortable day for Sunderland. To be honest with you, like, so we've got to give a lot of credit. What did you think, Davey and Martin? What did you think, Elesic when he came on? I know he wasn't on for long, and people said, like, before I seen it, like, oh, he's missed a sitter, but I don't think it was it wasn't a sitter, that was it. I mean, it looked easy from certain angles. Why didn't he just bend it? But it's his first game. He's got a split second to do. I mean, he's just been chucked on. I mean, give a lad a break, eh?
No, I thought he showed little flashes, little touches of, like, the quality, and you thought there's something there. And then obviously there was other times he gave the ball away. He got booked it, but again, like I say, you got to accept that his first game in English football, like in tough players, tough conditions. He's not going to look $1 million, but I saw enough there. I think I see what you have seen in him.
I mean, once he gets game time, he's to me he's the type of player that'll thrive, like, because he likes to get forward. He likes to run with the ball. He looks a strong lad. I think we've got some good things with him. Like,
no, I did. There's just little flashes where you thought.
And that wasn't a sitter, like, wasn't it?
No, it did. When you go and play through and all, like later on and steady. I always say if you've hit the target, you give yourself a chance.
and he
You know what I mean?
it just hit the underside of his thigh and
Aye.
all. It would have been through his legs.
I know. So he's probably still thinking about that. You know what I mean? Probably,
Aye.
but there's no worse. You miss a chance, especially late on, then they get up
Aye.
the other end and score. That hurts, especially when you're in a new dressing room. You'd be thinking,
Aye.
oh, bloody hell.
It's
But
just mad, isn't it? For the whole of that second half, we looked so comfortable defending, didn't we? I mean, you know, Ballard and Meffam were just immense, and I was quite comfortable. You know, I thought like, yeah, that was shutting the door, and I just thought the last 2 minutes, it's as if mentally, it's like the lads have thought, oh, they've got this one because it was such a lack of concentration. And as you've seen the Millwall equaliser, there must have been 3 of their players totally unmarked in the box, and it was like we've gone from being defending absolutely amazing to just that in that split second. So frustrating, because a lot of fans would have took a point before that game, and it's just the way it happened. But if it was the other way around, and we were 1-0 down with in the 94th minute, and we equalised, we would have felt like a win, innit? It's just sometimes you're on the receiving end of that. You've got to take it, haven't you?
I mean, we're unlucky because the referee played a great advantage, didn't he? He
Aye.
did. 9's gone flying in. You think if he blows the whistle.
We've just got about
And
50 seconds left on the stream, and if it ends, like I say, I'll send you the links again.
If Meffam hadn't been on a yellow card, I think he would have brought him down.
Aye.
Because he was the nearest man, but he couldn't bring him down, like.
I know.
Aye, it was a frustrating one. Here we go. We'll just be back in a second. We will just sort out this. There we go. We'll just be back on here. Right, and I will get the other link sorted. Bit of a pain, I know, but I'll have to get the paid version, to say the least. Da 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 da. Hello. I'm getting you.
Davey's back.
Aye, where's my picture?
Hey, see, you're getting the hang of this, man. Or you're getting too smart for your boots.
Big off.
Oh, that was, sorry about that. Like I say, I'll have to get the paid version. It's like this amateur stuff. It's no good. We're just waiting for Davey now with his camera. Welcome back, Martin, mate.
You're welcome.
Thanks for joining back on again. Are you still there? Are you still there, Davey?
I'm here, but I can't. Hold on.
Oh, he is, aye. Anyway, we'll crack on anyway. But thanks for sticking with us, lads and lasses, while we've just joined again, and thanks Martin for coming back on. So, what do you reckon about West Brom then, Martin? I mean, do you think it has to be a win against West Brom on Tuesday? Do you think the point, we can't have another draw, can we?
No, you'd like to think. I mean, especially going to Sheffield United on Friday. That's going to be a tough one. So you'd like to think get 3 points tomorrow and take that into Friday. But yeah, and I think you watch West Brom this year, and it's just another one of them teams where you think if we play at our maximum, we can beat them. There's nothing to be scared of. I think they come up here. Saw them a couple of times last year against us, and I think even they were going into the game then in good form, and they didn't look anything out of the ordinary. So it's another one of them teams. Say they come here, if we play at our maximum, there's no reason we can't beat them.
No, we've got a good record against them, and I mean, have you seen West Brom's last couple of months? It's literally thought we've drawn a lot. I think West Brom's drawn about 7 or 8, haven't they, on the bounce?
It looks a draw all day by the stats, doesn't it? But
I don't know, but I mean, hey,
I mean, talking about tomorrow, Martin, who would you play at centre half?
It's a tough one. Like Ballard, I really like Ballard. Is he going to come out and be able to play Saturday, Tuesday, Friday after missing so much and with his record of injuries? Or he's decided to stick him out tomorrow and stick 09 back in there? I assume Hume will come back in full back, and then it's a difficult one because as a centre half, personally, I prefer Ballard over 09. But then the team's done well enough, so do you stick with the lads who got you the top of the league? So
it's a tough one to leave 09 out, like, innit?
It is. No, it is. He's done well this year. Say the team's done well, so if you leave them out.
That game for Ballard against Millwall was the perfect game you could pick to play Ballard. It might be different tomorrow, because we like to get it down on the bottom, didn't they?
Aye. No, it's well, as I say, Ballard might be more suited to Friday, but then if he doesn't play tomorrow and you keep a clean sheet tomorrow, do you put him? It's hard to kind of put him back in Friday, but it's just good to. I mean, it's good to have him back, and see, I think Helder's back, so just even though Helder's not going to play, at least he's back. It's just having a bit more competition. I mean, the fact Serkin's out's a bit of a killer. Could say he just seems to get up and running, flying, and then another one seems to pick up injuries, so that's disappointing. But no, I think he'll go. I think he'll stick 09.
I think he'll leave Ballard out.
I think Meppin's one of the first names on the team sheet. I think he's just looked quality since he's come.
Yeah,
before you come on, Davey, you can just tell he's played higher. He just looks.
He never looks flustered, does he?
He doesn't. No. With Meffin, it's like he's thought about the move happening before it's actually happened. Do you know what I mean? And he's read the situation before the other team's even attacked, and that's just experience. Hello.
You know what they call that? Having a football brain, son.
Having a football brain.
You can be a great footballer, but you've got to have a brain.
No, it is. He seems to know. Well, it is. It's like he knows what's going to happen before it happens, and that comes against playing up against strikers in the Premier League. You got switched on all the time, and he's come down to this level, and he's just looked comfortable.
Martin, if we could put Alex Pritchard's brain in every player's head, we'd be promoted now.
We'd have a few quid's worth in the squad there, Davey.
Aye. He was one of my favourite players, Pritchard, like.
Aye.
I love players with brains.
Yeah. No, I'm the same. As I say, I'd say he look like Patrick Roberts at times. He just looks on a different level at times. You know, when he's flying, and the combination he had with Diallo last year, say just two clever footballers, weren't they?
Oh, we're just going to go back to St James's Park. There's been a goal with Charles Harrison. Oh. Can you see it there, Martin?
Can't. Aye, 2-0.
2-0 to West Ham.
2-0. Wow.
2-0. Crikey.
Cabby.
Hello.
Have you seen who Patrick Roberts will be up against tomorrow night?
Madja?
No. Callum Styles.
Callum Styles?
Of course, yeah.
Left back regular.
Left back regular, absolutely. It's going to read
Who do you fancy?
I'm just going to read a few comments on the chat. Davy's mate, Pastor Alex, has said hello.
Hello, Pastor.
He's got a friend.
How are you getting on?
He's got a friend in Uganda that follows Davy.
Hey.
Don't ask. Dougie Stewart says, would Martin have danced with Spider-Man like Isidore switching the lights on?
I saw that. No, I think you got to be a certain sort of character to do that, haven't you?
He's got
That
a
was
good voice
class.
on him, mind, and he's singing Mariah
Yeah,
Carey.
that was class. Takes me about 8 pints to get me to start singing.
But it looked like
What do you
he'd been...
What do you think about Wilson?
I like him. He's another one. I think he gets better and stronger as the season goes on. I think
You know what the floor are saying him, Martin? He needs to learn how to hold the ball up with his back to the centre half and get hold of it, keep hold of it, and let us get up the pitch.
Like a proper
He
centre
hasn't
forward.
mastered that yet. He just wants to be on his bike all the time, all the time.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if that comes down to. I think he come more or less as a winger. You know, like I think so. Maybe it's a bit foreign to him, and you'd like to think they're working on it with him.
Aye.
That side of his game. That's what I mean. As I say, I think he'll improve, but like the assets he's got, like class, it's sort of what we've been crying out for, isn't it?
Yeah.
SJ's on the chat. Hello, SJ. She says he's on about Alesic. She says we paid $3 million for Alesic, and he's only 19. She says like the majority of our players, they've got the potential to only get better, which of course they certainly have. And there's some other folk in the chat as well saying like, are we going to be worried and concerned about Madja tomorrow? He's banging them in for fun for West Brom. He's one to watch, isn't he? Oh, Josh Madja.
He is. He can finish. There's no doubt about it. If he gets chances, it's the one thing he's always been good at. I used to see him for the youth team, and his finishing was always top drawer even then. So then he'd be up for it, won't he?
Aye. Playing well and all. He's got 10 and 16.
Aye.
It certainly has, and all. It certainly has.
Ballard will get him one if he's on.
Leave one on him. Old school.
So Martin, back in the Roker Park days, I mean, what was it actually like? I mean, it's all right for us in the stands, but what was it like playing in that iconic ground? I mean, did you hear the Roker roar many times?
Oh, I mean, I remember the first time I walked into Roker Park. It's like a 5 or 6 year old, a reserve game, up on up the old main stand paddock, and walking out and just seeing the ground under lights, and that just stuck with me forever. So yeah, I mean, I used to go there all the time, watch them, and then to get the chance to play there, is just say, well, it was a dream come true. It's all I ever wanted to do.
It's funny you should say that. My first ever experience at Roker Park, it was Diamond Dal Junior School, and it was Sunderland boys against Liverpool boys.
Right.
And that was my first experience. We paid 50p for a ticket to get in, and it was a freezing cold, like pitch black. But as you said, Mark, when you walk up them steps to in the main stand, and you just see the stadium in front of you, and under the lights and stuff, it was like.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm coming up 50 now, and I mean, I was just a junior then. I mean, and that sticks in my mind as if it was just yesterday. Like, I mean. It were magic times, weren't they?
Aye. No, it is. I say that first time, I just remember it. And I used to go, like you said, I used to go and watch the reserves and everything back then. Any game I could get into there, but no, it was magic. You look back now. I've got friends who live where Roker Park was, and even when you go and see them, you still you still miss it, you know. But you just think what was there. It was great times. Sadly missed, but I think if you go now in the stadium, I mean, I don't. When it's full and it's bouncing, the atmosphere is unreal, and I think it was the right decision to go. You've got to move the club on, and it is when you go the facilities like what Roker Park have been like now. I think sometimes it's just good to have them memories and get out at the right time. Get out at the right time. Yeah.
I mean, when Roker Park got demolished, I mean, it's part of our lives got demolished as well. It's not just a building or a bit of brick or metal floodlights. It's part of us that's gone as well. I mean, it's such an iconic thing gone, isn't it? It's
Who was your favourite ever player for Sunderland, Martin?
It's a tough one. From the one who, like, early on it was Raul, like, but I think the first one who really got it was Marco.
Oh, that's mine and all.
Just
Oh, I
yeah.
keep telling him and all he loves it.
I know. I know.
Looked like him, like
Tree trunk legs.
That ball, he was like a bull, wasn't he?
Oh, he was just so exciting. You know what I mean? We've had some great players, but God, what had it been? 14, 15, maybe a bit younger, and just he was just like he just caught your imagination, didn't he? He was just different than anything we'd had before.
And Gatesy just pulling the strings, wasn't he? Just dinking it.
No, what a guy! What a combination! You see, you look back at some of the goals he scored. Like the year we went on, wasn't the Premier League then, but it was the old First Division. Goal the way at Norwich, and he just went through a spell where he scored unbelievable goals.
He had some tree trunk legs, Marco. Like there was some power in them legs, wasn't there?
Aye. It's, no, he was fantastic. But no, it's just. So he was probably the first one. I'd say Raul. I loved Stan Cummins early on. Yeah, just no. Ian Atkins, brace first time round. Just quality.
You say you're part the Mick Buxton era. I remember when you played. I live in Carlisle now. I mean, I'm son and born and bred. MACKEM through and through, but like this is like my second home. And I remember when Sunderland got Carlisle at Roker Park. Were you in that? Were you part of that squad when you drew 1-1?
I think we played them 2 years on the bounce.
We did play them 2 years on the bounce, yeah.
I definitely the second one because I played in the replay up at.
That's right.
Brunton Park, wasn't it?
I think we won one replay 1-0, and we won the second. The one after, I think we won that one 3-1.
Well, I played in the 3-1. I think Lee Howie scored, didn't he? And that was another one. The night, the conditions were horrendous. Wind, rain. 3-1. I mustn't have played the first year then because I don't think I played in the second replay. So, yeah, but the second year.
I know Carlisle took about 6,000 fans, if not more. They had the whole of the Roker end, like it was their day out. But Mick Buxton.
I think I've told you before, Cabbie. I always remember Sunderland playing Carlisle on a Wednesday afternoon in the FA Cup.
Wednesday afternoon.
The power cuts, there was no lights.
Right.
So, but to play on a Wednesday afternoon, all the teams did.
I'd never heard that.
Jeff has just says, do you still go to the games now, Martin?
I get as many as I can. I do. I work for Radio Northampton, so like I do their summarising for their games in the north, the away games. So I'll not be there tomorrow night because I'm at Wigan Northampton tomorrow night. So if I'm home and I'm not working for them, I'll be at the games. Yeah.
He always gets to Wembley, Cabbie.
Oh, make sure I get to Wembley. I got a Wembley for about 5 days.
Were you at the Wickham final, Martin?
I was down with my lad. That was just. But again, I forget how many it is, but my first one was the Milk Cup final.
Oh yeah.
But I'd never seen us. Obviously, we weren't allowed in when we beat Tranmere. So I'd been at all them heartbreaks. I was injured when Mick missed the penalty against Charlton, so I didn't play in that. But I was there. The FA Cup finals against Liverpool, Swindon games, all them I'd been, and just to be there, I cried my eyes out. I'll be honest. The emotion just overtook us. It was unbelievable.
That was a fantastic run, that '92 Cup run, wasn't it? I mean, I know it was disappointing at the final, but I mean, what a player John Byrne was. I mean. And you know we got some cracking wins, didn't we? West Ham away. Was it Davey Rush got the winner? And of course the Gordon Armstrong header. There's some really memorable matches there, like weren't there? And of course
the great run.
Norwich at Hillsborough when John Burney all scored that header. It was It was
Cabby,
class.
tell him we've had Gordon Armstrong on.
Yes, apparently Martin Smith's been talking to him.
I did. I asked Gordon. I said, and he says, "All right, the good lad. So get yourself on."
Good.
Aye.
He's a good lad, Gordon. We had a good laugh with Gordon, and I asked him. I says, can you remember what it was like when you scored that bullet header against Chelsea? And he says, all I can remember was snogging Brian Atkinson to death after the goal.
It was some header that. I think it's.
Do you think we'll ever get Benno on?
Depends how much you're paying him.
Oh!
There's no for now, Benno. I'm sure he'll be busy, Benno, though. I think he's got about 20 jobs. He's always up to something. So,
he's a busy man. I'm going to go see if I can get.
He might fit you in.
See if I can get Kieran Brady on, Davey's best mate.
Aye, get him on.
Danny Collins, we'll go through.
There was a player I loved, Kieran, as well. That little spell where he had in the team. Everybody talks about that West Ham game. If you were there, you just remember it, don't you?
Aye.
I was at the Roker End watching that. Were you at that game, Davey?
Aye, ball just stuck to his toe all the time.
Aye,
he ran them ragged like it was it 4-3 at the end, wasn't it?
4-3. Yeah.
Aye. What stands out for me was Marco's goal in front of the full end where he just darted across and then slotted it the other way. It was like, it was.
I scored loads like that.
But Kieran, I remember as well when we beat Sheffield United 3-1.
Down there.
Gabbiadini, Bracewell, the scorers, and Kieran Brady. That was a night game, and Kieran Brady, it was another game where he just ran the show and he was just terrorising the defenders.
I was at that one.
Were you?
Brace scored the volley, didn't he, off the underside of the bar right in front of the away end.
That's right. It was a thunderbolt from Paul Bracewell, wasn't it? I think that was his first goal of the season, and because Sheffield United at the time scored first, I think, and we just took control.
Great night, that. Yeah.
Magic. So I mean, someone's in the chat asking about the forwards link-up place and stuff. I know it's different eras and that. Who do you think's better, the Gates, Gabbiadini, or Quinn and Phillips? Oof.
Oh.
You take that one, Davey. I can't answer that.
Like you just said, it's totally different eras, isn't it?
And the way they played different, didn't they? Obviously, Quinny, his flick ons and playing off him. Gates, he was a bit more drop off, turn, slip Gabbers in.
The pitches were a lot different and all.
I think Gabbers could do something off the cuff that maybe the others couldn't. He could go past 3 or 4 players. But that's. I don't think I'd probably lean towards. I mean, Kev was the best finisher I ever played with. Unbelievable. Like you just knew when he first come because he didn't hit the ground running when he first come. But I remember saying to my mates, trust us. I mean, again, I'm not going to say I thought he'd do what he did, but I said trust us. He'd score goals. Like he's a finisher. You just knew.
And the angles he scored from, I mean, as well. I mean, that torrential downpour at St James's Park where he, I think, was given me at the save, and then he saw it on the angle, turned and twisted, and he chipped it right into the corner. That's It's just his ability to score from literally anywhere.
And Big Niall was a good foil for him because Niall had a brain and all.
Yeah, you just never knew how good he was till he actually played. He was. You know, when you used to see him on the TV and stuff, and you think, big. As soon as you start playing with me, you thought, wow, like.
You thought he was just a Peter Crouch, didn't you?
Just never lost the ball, just everything stuck.
Brilliant on the bottom now, Quinn.
Going to say hello in the chat as well. Just going to say hello to Colin Major.
Colin.
Love the Stadium of Light, but like that song, I left my heart at Roker Park. John Smiles in the chat. Hello, he says, still smell the liminant. Used to make you feel like Superman. I don't know what he's on about there. Do you guys know what he's on about? That is that.
Martin will.
The stuff you used to rub on your legs.
Is that the deep heat stuff? Is it?
Like the deep heat, yeah.
Right.
Like Roker Park used to smell. The physio room used to be next to there was a window where his mains at. Like
I used to be able to smell it outside.
Aye, out there. Yeah.
That's what that is, and the old deep heat stuff and that then. You know. So we'll talk about like the West Brom game and this and that and the other, and if would you take the playoffs this year, Martin? Because it looks like Leeds and Sheffield United are going to be tough cookies. Like, I mean, would it be disappointing if Sunderland finished in the top 6?
People keep saying that. If you stick it straight into the final, so I'm going to Wembley, I'll take the playoffs. No, it's a tough one because, as I said, if we don't get a boatload of injuries, I think we can do top 2. A lot of it's going to come down to all that, and other teams will go through the same.
Aye, that's Danny Collins' question on the radio now. Would you take the playoffs and give up the top 2 now? I wouldn't like.
Yeah, I said I don't say there's like massive to be scared of.
Nah.
In the league, it's so why would you? I understand what people may. If you start the season, you think, oh, we're getting to the playoffs with what we've got, but like I said, I don't think I'm not saying anything that massively scares us, and if we play well, we're as good as anybody. So
Middlesbrough's putting in a good run at the minute. They're scoring goals for fun, aren't they?
Aye, they go through little spells of season, like where you think, that's it, they're off and running, and then they'll go and have a couple of bad results. Say that it's that sort of league.
I just hope Leeds didn't pull away. They're not that. I think they're the only team that could pull away.
Well, yeah, I mean, we'd say before you come on, like you look at their squad, that is a deep squad, isn't it? Like somebody else gets 4 or 5 injuries, you're gonna hurt you. Like they've had a few injuries, and you still look at the team and think, like that's a solid squad. That like, but it's Leeds have got in them just to cause chaos within their own club, aren't they? You just never know. It's a basket case. But if you're looking at the squad, you'd have to say you've got to see them in the top 2.
I watched them against Swansea. Like, I mean, for Swansea to equalise, I think in the 91st minute. I mean, how many teams would have just collapsed and thought, "Oh my god!" 40 seconds later, they went to the end and scored. I mean, that's promotion material. That like, innit? I mean, to show character that and just hit them straight away. Because it literally was seconds when they took the lead again, wasn't it? And
I mean, they were the one team against us where they had spells in the game where you could see they had the quality, and that's really, I think, the only team I've seen do that for us this year.
Aye.
But then again, in the same game, they had the spells where they just looked bang average.
Aye.
Were you at that game, Martin?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know whereabouts you were sitting. Could you see what happened with was it the Leeds keeper when he fumbled that, or what happened? Did the ball spin, or were you at the wrong place to see it?
He didn't fumble it. He never touched it.
I think he thought what he was doing before he caught it.
Aye.
He's got in his head, what am I going to do? And just forgot to get the ball, which is probably the basics as a goalkeeper.
Aye. I mean, it did spin, but then again, he should have been expecting it to spin, like.
Oh, exactly. I know. Exactly.
It was absolutely bizarre, like, wasn't it? Someone's just mentioning in the chat about Isidore. Yeah, it's he's talking about the goal he scored against Coventry. I mean, there was certainly no fluke on that, the way he took that. I mean, to me, that shows you that guy has got skill. There was no luck in that goal he scored against Coventry when he saw he was back towards the goal, wasn't he? And he just twisted and whacked it into the corner. I mean, that's that's quality. That, like, I think we're going to see a lot more good stuff from him.
Martin, would you get back to 4-3-3 tomorrow?
I think so. It served us well, hasn't it?
Aye.
I think he'll go back to it. I think Saturday maybe he just tried something different. And
well, he didn't have the players, did he?
Aye. No, I think he'll go back to.
He likes to play with 2 number 8s, doesn't he?
Aye. See, I get lost with all this 8s and 4s and 6s.
So does Danny Collins. I've been on to Danny Collins about. He says, I didn't understand tactics.
I didn't know what numbers are what. You keep eating the 4s and the 6s. I'm not. I'm not.
No,
I think
we didn't play with a fourth. We didn't play with a fourth, Sunderland.
No, not.
No.
Davey,
that was like a
Davey, you were mentioned on five. You were mentioned on Total Sport tonight about the number 10 when you was it?
Sunderland have never played with a number 10 all season. And Barnsley argued with us and he's wrong. Because Sunderland play with 2 number 8s. Riggy on the right, Job on the left, and Dan Neil's in the middle. The last time we played with number 10, it was Pritchard.
Aye. That like the 4-2-3-1.
Aye.
Aye.
Ken Walton, hello on the chat. He says on about goals. He said, "Oh, I don't know if I'm a bit loud there. Sorry." He says, "Sorry lads." He says, "Vic Hallam against Man City in the FA Cup in '73 at Roker Park." He says that's my best memory.
Well, that's the best game I've ever beaten in my life.
Aye.
The game that's
I've never seen Roker Park as full in my life. There must have been easy 70,000 in there. Easy. Never seen anything like it. And they still say there was about 70,000 in, but it was 53,000 was official gate.
The only black and white footage of the game. You never see colour anywhere. Weird that, isn't it?
Amazing.
JF86, son of Pele. Where'd you get that name from then, Martin?
Why, I was going to ask you that, Martin. Who give you that?
It was Love Supreme, the fanzine.
Was it?
Oh, was it?
Aye. Just sort of Martin McFadden. I think they were going. I can't remember what come first, the T-shirt or the nickname, but they wanted to do a T-shirt. So whether they came up with, I don't know what they came up with first, but it's one of them. I'd say I said to people like at the time, it's just a bit of fun, not thinking like getting a 50 everywhere I went, every club, like they all just sort of just stuck with you. So.
I still have a chuckle when Simon Pride calls it son of Pele.
We tell us he had a T-shirt back in the day, Friday man. No. But, as I say, at the time you didn't think, oh, that'll just be a fad, and then say 30 years later, it's still getting on, is it?
Aye.
Were you part? Where were you? Because I can't remember if you were playing or not when Gary Bennett took out. Was it Speedy?
Was that the game? That would have been. What year was that? That would have been. No, I wasn't anyway. I think I'd only been about 15, 16 myself. I was at the game though.
Aye.
Benno stuck him in the box stamp.
They both got sent off, I think, didn't they?
They did.
Aye. Then they were fighting down the tunnel.
I've got that was a cup run. Wasn't it? I'm sure that was a cup. I've got a feeling that was a replay. For some reason, but I can't remember
that was a League Cup, wasn't it? Was it a League Cup run, that one?
Was that? I mean, I don't think it was the 85 season, was it? But it was.
No, it wasn't.
Sure, it was the 80s.
It wasn't the Mill Cup one. I don't know exactly what year it was like.
But was it?
Didn't they come in the League Cup run?
I know. I suppose the darkest day at Roker Park as well. When didn't we beat Gillingham, but we still went down on the away goals or something.
Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, that was playoff. That was when the fourth bottom or third bottom team of the First Division played the team coming up, wasn't it?
Tony Cascarino.
Aye.
He's on Talk Sport now, wasn't he? That was weird, like, 'cause I don't even know if the away goals rule happened then, like, but I think we missed a penalty, they scored one.
That's how they went down on away goals.
Yes, it was away goals, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I was in the full when Benno scored that header, and like it just went absolutely ballistic, you know. And then people were just, there was thousands, hundreds, just confused. I was staying down. They didn't really know what was going on,
Yeah.
But I tell you what, though. Dare I say it was worth going down, but what a season that was, wasn't it, in Division 3?
Oh, coming back up. Fantastic. Unbelievable. Yeah. That was when I first started going to away games. Some crazy ones that season.
You weren't involved in the one at Wigan, were you? Was it Wigan or Walsall where they were sliding down the bank?
Oh, that was
Wigan.
Wigan, was it?
Wigan.
That's class, that footage.
How did they get away with that?
Unbelievable. Springfield Park, I think it was called, wasn't it? Something like that.
It was a magic season. That there was a few teams were thumped 7-0 and all, and wasn't there a cup competition called the Zenith Data Systems or something?
Aye.
Which is the equivalent of like the Papa John's, isn't it? Is that what that is? I'm sure it is.
I used to love John McPhail them days and all.
We just knew if he was taking a penalty,
Aye.
goal on it.
Aye.
I was gutted when he missed the last one, not against Northampton.
Aye.
He would have had a 100% record. We beat them, I think, Northampton 3-1. His only penalty he missed.
Did he miss? I didn't realise. I forgot all about that.
He missed it in his last ever game.
Aye. He would have had a 100% record of penalties. And he missed it for Northampton. So, Martin, in our lifetimes, then, do you think we'll ever see Sunderland in an established top 5 Premier League team or winning the FA Cup? Do you think we'll see anything like that happening again?
In our lifetime, we're about the same age, aren't we? It's, you never know, do you? Like what's around the corner with, you get taken over, somebody puts some money in, but it seems a long way off at the minute because, as we said earlier, the gap because of what's getting spent at the top now is just, it's just ridiculous. But then you go and look at what Leicester did, so it never say never, you know what I mean? But it's a tough one, but it's the hope, isn't it? You've got to have the hope.
Andrew Moore says, sorry, this is just getting people involved in the chat. Says Andrew Moore says that was the League Cup in '89, the Benno, where he knocked Speedy flying. 89. Ken says, great chat tonight. Well done, lads. Colin Major, Kevin Atkinson's just popped in. That's Davey's boy, isn't it?
Aye, that's me boy.
Hello, Kevin. Colin Major says, Martin, if you get Mickey Gray's number, get him to come on if he's allowed. he works.
He definitely costs more than Benno.
He works. He's like the correspondent for Man United. He does
the Northwest for Talk Sport.
He does all the reporting for Man United and stuff.
No, he's done really well, Mick.
Gary Hoyle says, "How's John McPhail getting on? Does anybody know?"
He's, he's back home. They've had to sort of tailor his house to his needs, which is it's quite tough. But he's back home. So yeah, he's never going to be like a full recovery, but like he can communicate and stuff. But it's obviously not ideal. But he's doing all right in the circumstances.
I think
Dave Watson's not in a good way either, is he?
No. It's as I say, it's sad, isn't it, when you see people like going that way.
I think Gordon Armstrong says he's popped in a few times to see John.
That's Jimmy Montgomery. Looks about 21, doesn't he?
He doesn't age, does he?
Yeah. He still shakes your hand, and he could thrust you. He's never changed. What a bloke! What a bloke.
Kev Atkinson says, "Great seeing you on, Martin lad." He says, "Remember me father take me to watch you fly down that wing when standing in the full end."
Aye.
Them were the days.
So creating...
Martin didn't run without the ball on his toe. Should be giving me any.
A few people said I never ran, Davey. That was my problem.
Oh, you did. Ball was out, stuck to your toe now.
No, that was my big thing was my control and how I read the game. Aye.
Were you the corner taker?
I would do them quite often. Yeah.
Because there's one. Keep showing you highlights where it were obviously snowy conditions and we're playing with a pink ball or orange ball, or whatever, and you take a corner and we score a cracking goal from it.
Leahowie.
I think it was
against Middlesbrough.
That was the one. I'm sure it was you that was taking the corner on that one.
Aye, yeah, it was. Aye.
Joey, Martin was good with his head now, you know.
He was what, Davey?
Good with his head, scored a few headers.
People get surprised, you know, when my goals come up, my mates are like,
"Oh, the headers.
Headers and right foot."
Aye.
It was all there.
Oh, well, we've got like 2 minutes left. Martin, I just want to say, thanks for coming on the show, mate. It's been a pleasure.
Just spread the word to all the ex-players that it's good coming on here. Get
I
as
will
many
do.
as you can on, because it's great for the channel.
Aye, I'll see what I can do, and I'll come back on again if you want us.
He's been asking Darren Williams for months, haven't you?
Darren's a good lad. He chats a lot. He's coming on and then he's busy. He's coming on and then he's getting busy. I'm not going to push people too far. If he wants to come on, he can come on. Darren Williams
I'll drop him a message and say hi.
Tell him you've been on and it was great.
He often tells me he wants the job at Sunderland. He wants coaching. He says he wants to get in coaching. That's what he keeps telling me on the thingy.
Well, he needs to get a few more podcasts and tell a few more people, doesn't he?
Well, aye. He was bad big balls on.
Aye.
He's got some football knowledge, mind Barnesy, ain't he, Dave?
Great Nick, like.
Aye. Oh, he has, definitely.
He's got some football knowledge. He can talk and tell you a lot of stuff. So Martin, thanks a lot. You doing much plans tonight then, chilling out?
I'm just gonna celebrate West Ham's winning, I think.
Is it? Oh, I forgot about that. Is it still? Is that full time? Is it?
4 minutes left. I have a little dance around the sitting room.
I think we are. Well, I thought Newcastle would have won that, but
no, I did as well. To be honest, nice to be proved wrong.
Well, you brought us luck with the Newcastle score tonight. Right, so we'll say good night there. Martin, it's been a pleasure.
Good night, Martin. Thanks very much
again.
On,
Davey. Cheers, lads.
Good lad.
See you later, mate.
I'll speak on the radio next.
Spot on. Take it easy.
Thanks, Martin.
See you later.
Cheers.
Ta-da.
Ta-da.
Ta-da. Brilliant.
There we go. Thanks everybody for the tuning into the show tonight. It's been a pleasure. I've really enjoyed that, and what a top bloke Martin Smith is as well for coming on. Sorry about the technical difficulties at the beginning, but we're just getting used to it. So there we go. Thanks for all tuning in. Like I say, it's all there for catch up if you want to watch it again, and I will say that thank you very much, and we will catch you later on.